Hello, my name is Tanya, and today on Corporadar, a digital IR 4.0 corporate media house, we have Mr. Sudhir. He is working with Boston Scientific. We welcome you on board, and today we are going to discuss about the medical device industry and how the trends are changing. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Danya.
So, I would like you to just give a couple of lines about yourself, a brief introduction, so that the audience also knows about you.
I'm Sudhir Dasmantara. I lead the global business services for Asia Pacific for Boston Scientific. I've been in this company for the last 5 years plus. But I come from first 10 years of my career in banking industry. I worked companies like Amex, HSBC, Capital One Bank, and consulting like companies like EY. I am a finance professional, but I started leading team finance organization. I'm very passionate about people, technology, and transformation.
That's really great, sir. Thank you for giving this interview today. So, I have some questions, so I'll like to address them to you. So, you are dealing with transformation, right? Exactly, as a company, and you have the global business services heading with you. So, I would like to know what are some of the key challenges about the company in the global business service sector, and how are you addressing such challenges that are coming your way and in this particular domain, which is global businesses, right? So, can you address some of them?
Yeah, I mean, challenges uh, are there for any company, right? Any business. And if you look at the current environment, right, may not be specific to Boston Scientific, but in general, people are grappling with cost, people are grappling with growth, right? Thankfully, we are in a medical device company where we are growing very well, right, from a business point of view. But from a global business services, we drive a lot of internal processes. We are now looking at optimizing a lot of processes, standardizing them, automating them, bringing in new technologies into the organization, where we are looking at streamlining the processes so that we are more efficient and effective, right? Building capabilities, building capacity in the teams so that we are able to do more with less, right? There are always cost pressures, there are always a lot of projects happening at the same time. How do you prioritize? So prioritization is a big challenge. Also looking at the talent, right? These days, hiring is still easy, but retaining them is very difficult. How do you keep them engaged? How do you keep them motivated to take up new challenges and stick to the purpose of the company? And as a Boston Scientific, we have a tagline: "Advancing science for life." So, such a wonderful noble cause. It's not just making money, but it's also about advancing science for life. So we invest in a lot of R&D and innovative products, bringing to the closer to the customer needs and as a patient needs, right? So there's a lot of great pride I get working for such a wonderful company, where we try to transform a lot of things internally as well as externally.
Next question is about digital transformation, right? As it is the process that everyone is adopting. So, would you like to comment on what sort of things that the company has implemented while it comes to digital transformation?
So digital transformation is looking at how do you create touchless operations? How do you have a smooth transaction processing where there's less of people intervention, there's more system automatically processing the transactions. So we are investing a lot in terms of various tools to streamline whether our invoice processing, whether our orders processing, and we are looking at really enhancing so that people spend less time processing but more time analyzing. And as a digital transformation, it is a mindset. It is not just talking about technology. when you're implementing digital transformation, one have to look at the people readiness, the process readiness, and then you bring in the technology. It is not other way around. And one mistake people make in digital transformation is that people always focus on what technology should we bring in. I always say in various forums that technology is easy to understand. People are very difficult to understand. So when you're bringing in a technology or something, focus on how do you get your people readiness. The whole change of people readiness is very, very important before you bring in or talk about in a digital transformation.
As we are already talking about people that play a key role in all such areas, so I would like to address you the question about talent management and the leadership development. They both play a very key, crucial role in the organization's development. So, how do you plan to retain and develop the top talent and address them towards the company? And what are the strategies you're trying to cultivate in the leaderships and within the team also?
So talent development is an ongoing journey. There is no end to it because as the world is evolving, the future of work is changing, the future of workforce is changing, the future of workplace are changing. When all these three things are changing, it is important as a leader that you should first keep on learning what is changing and understand how you have to prepare your teams to that change, right? Whether it is just skill development, whether you're giving them some stretch assignments, whether you're putting them some interesting training. So we have a Rising Leader program where we put in a lot of talent to see how they can learn how to drive change, how to lead large transformations, how do they lead people? Because at this point in time, you have a very multifaceted, diverse workforce. So how do you lead a diverse workforce? And in most of the cases, you're also working in a very hybrid environment where some people are physically there, some people are virtually sitting far and working. How do you see that they're engaged? How are you seeing that they're productive? So it's all about virtual leadership. How do you drive, influence people who are not sitting next to you? They're sitting very far. But how do you ensure that they're delivering what they committed? So how are you more outcome focused, not just measuring what time they're logging in, what time logging out? That is more of a micromanagement. Instead of that, change the focus in terms of outcomes, results driven. How do you measure them? How do you motivate them? So, and what are the new technologies they have to be trained on so that as you implement or bring in those technologies, how as a leader you're planning to upskill people and change their mindset to deliver on those and preparing them for the future.
As you told about people and the change management in the organization, definitely here comes the word innovation, as it plays a very crucial role in the organization such as yours. Boston is one of the key companies that bring the latest innovation devices in the industry. So, what are the key strategies and what new innovations we can expect from the company in the coming times?
So innovation is an ongoing thing, right? So we have a huge R&D team focusing day in and day out, enhancing our products, enhancing the customer experience, looking at how do we really bring in more innovative products, products which are not just devices, but they are digital devices. So that's kind of an ongoing focus we have. When we talk about innovation, we drive a culture of VIPs, value improvement programs, we call it, where you challenge your status quo, where you look at bringing in value to everything we do. So culturally, as a Boston Scientific, we have a lot of value focused on, winning and doing the right things. So innovation is part of our kind of a DNA. And for any company and any organization to succeed, you have to stay hunger, stay innovative, so that you are setting up for success.
Definitely. And the brand is really known for its corporate social responsibility and the sustainability development. How do you plan to actually implement this in the areas of global business also?
And at Boston Scientific, we look at encourage all employees. Every year we do a lot of CSR activities, whether spending money or investing time in education, child education, working with a lot of NGOs across the globe. And we promote a lot for employees to participate, whether in terms of planting trees for the environment. We also, as part of our EHS and ESG, we look at you know measuring and reporting in terms of employee well-being, right? We look at a lot of initiative on India campus. Our India campus has a huge presence of R&D and IT and global business services and commercial teams. We look at engaging people on wellness, mental health, some yoga classes. So there's a lot of participation as a company and as a leadership team. We encourage and invest on these initiatives.
That's a great initiative that the company has already taken, and I wish you all the best for that. As a brand, there are many key skills and competencies that we expect from the leaders, from the team, and that's very critical for a successful transformation and transformative growth of the company. So, how do you like foster such a culture and keep up with the pace while improving and while segregating the things that are not really important?
So as I mentioned earlier, it is all about prioritization.
Yeah.
It is all about giving having the right strategy in place, explaining the strategy to the team so that they understand which direction we are heading, and also looking at how do we really be um, looking at optimizing our resources, right? Everyone has that limited time, everyone has a limited resources. You're not um, having abundance of resource. So it is all about, as a leadership, focusing on the right things at the right time, and see that the team is focused in making that happen. Um, During the COVID period also, nothing stopped for us. We continue to deliver large projects. Only thing is you need to be innovative in finding ways and means. And we always go with the spirit of let's make it happen. And when we make it happen. So, and that's the spirit of looking at the collaborative culture, the you know, the whole diversity culture where we have people inclusive and inclusive participation, and also looking at the whole mindset of the talent, which is more committed talent. Um, in most of the companies, you hire talent, but very few places you find committed talent. Where committed talent means people are ready to stretch beyond in ensuring that things are delivered. You always have whatever things you take up, you'll always have bottlenecks, you'll always face challenges, but you're finding innovative solutions to overcome them, be creative, and eventually making that happen.
Yeah, eventually it all comes down to the right people in the right place at the right time. Okay. Any key value proposition that we can expect from the leadership in the coming times, which is really new?
Value proposition is always, as I mentioned, being innovative, um, customer oriented, continue to be, looking at finding ways and means of managing these, situations where you have dearth of resources. The inflation is a big piece which every company is facing, due to various economic conditions, right? So we have a lot of, you know, uh, leadership which is highly motivated, very clear in terms of which direction we want to go, and driving the teams to stay focused, stay hunger, stay creative, so that collectively we are heading in a direction which we aspire for.
So your thoughts are really great in terms of people management, growth transformation. So thank you so much for addressing most of the questions that we have for you and wishing you all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Thanks for the opportunity too. I really enjoyed this conversation. And but the last thought I would leave for people, when you're driving a change management in a leadership role, try and see that the change is seen by the people, not felt by people. The moment people feel the change, they will resist. If the people see the change, they'll like to be part of the change, and explain the change before you implement the change. So, with that thought, I wish you all the very best and have a nice day.
Thank you so much.